The Fall of Constantinople, the End of an Era. Introduction. In the year 1453, the world witnessed a monumental turning point. The great city of Constantinople, a beacon of civilization for over 1,000 years, was on the brink of collapse. This is the story of its last stand, a tale of courage, desperation, and the end of an era. The setting, Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, was a city unlike any other. With its massive walls, strategic location, and thriving culture, it had withstood numerous sieges and invasions. But as the 15th century dawned, the Byzantine Empire was in decline. The once mighty empire had been reduced to just a small fraction of its former self, surrounded by powerful enemies. The Ottoman Empire, a rising force led by Sultan Mehmed II, was now at the gates. The siege begins. On April 2, 1453, Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror, began his assault on Constantinople. The city was defended by Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos and his soldiers, who knew that this siege could be their last stand. The Ottomans were well prepared, having assembled a vast army and a formidable fleet. The siege was not just a military campaign, it was also a test of endurance. Constantinople's defenders faced a relentless bombardment from the Ottomans' massive cannons. These cannons, some of the largest ever built at the time, fired enormous stone balls that shattered the city's ancient walls. The defenders' resolve. Despite the overwhelming odds, the defenders of Constantinople were determined to protect their home. Emperor Constantine XI, a courageous and dedicated leader, rallied his troops and the city's inhabitants. The city's defenders included both experienced soldiers and civilians who took up arms to protect their homes and families. The Byzantine defenders knew that the fate of their city depended on their ability to hold the walls. They worked tirelessly to repair breaches and fortify their defenses. Every day brought new challenges as the Ottomans intensified their attacks. The turning point. As the weeks went by, the situation became increasingly dire for the Byzantines. The Ottoman forces had succeeded in breaching the outer walls and were now engaged in fierce combat within the city. The defenders, though valiant, were growing weary and supplies were dwindling. On May 22, 1453, the Ottomans launched a final, decisive assault. Their troops, numbering in the tens of thousands, surged through the breaches in the walls. The Byzantine defenders fought bravely, but the overwhelming numbers of the Ottomans began to turn the tide. The fall of the city. By the afternoon of May 29, 1453, the once great city of Constantinople had fallen. The Ottomans poured into the city, and the streets that had been bustling with life now echoed with the sounds of conquest. Emperor Constantine XI, fighting to the end, was last seen in the thick of the battle, and his body was never found. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and a significant shift in the balance of power in the region. The Ottomans, under Sultan Mehmed II, established their dominance and transformed the city into their new capital, renaming it Istanbul. Legacy and impact. The fall of Constantinople was a turning point in history. It signaled the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of the Renaissance. The fall also marked the end of Christian Byzantine rule in the Eastern Mediterranean and the rise of Ottoman influence. The city of Istanbul, once Constantinople, became a major center of culture, trade, and politics under the Ottomans. Its rich history continued to shape the region for centuries to come. Conclusion. The story of the fall of Constantinople is a tale of a city that stood at the crossroads of civilizations. Its fall marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in history. The bravery and resilience of its defenders, the strategic brilliance of Sultan Mehmed II, and the dramatic events of that fateful year remind us of the ever-changing nature of history and the enduring legacy of great cities and their people.